Oh, looks like it. All right, I'm not sure if this is going to work. The computer's getting pretty old and it's really distorted and stuff, but we'll see what happens. I've been getting heaps of emails, like probably 3 or 4 a week, and the biggest question people have been asking me is what I've been eating, what supplements I take, obviously not for muscle growth, and what I do for like inflammation, and what pills I take. Like, do I take any Western medicine? Do I take any natural pills or any of that kind of stuff? So pretty much, I'm still smashing Metamucil. Some people doesn't really work for them, but I take it straight away in the morning, like before my. So basically, I'll wake up, I'll fast. I mean, you can call it like a fast, I guess, till like 9:30, 10. Then I'll have a smoothie that I'll get to after. So I'll have a smoothie which actually has organic psyllium husk in it, which is like the same ingredient that's in this. So it bulks it up a little bit. And then I'll probably fast for like 4 hours after that. And then I'll have Metamucil before like my first meal, I guess you could say. This shit's awesome. It just like kind of forms it all together and makes it a lot easier to go to the toilet, I guess. But yeah, so I'll wake up, I'll have my smoothie, which is like kind of this own little concoction that I've made. It's like an anti-inflammatory smoothie, I guess you could say. So I'll have like blueberries, raspberries, bit of mango, not really, maybe sometimes some banana. But I'll have honey. I'll put this stuff in it, which is ginger powder. I don't know if you can see that, but that's good. Google whatever that does for you, but whatever it does, it works, because my pouch always works really good. I think it's like relaxes the gut and stuff and like settles it and stops a bit of bloating and uneasiness. Turmeric powder. I put a flat teaspoon of turmeric powder in it. That's a really good anti-inflammatory. I'll have LSAs. LSAs. Good stuff in that. Coconut water, which is good for your gut and your gut health. I don't really know where I pulled all this stuff out of, but I just Googled it all, and I've been doing it for like 3 years, and I've never had, knock on wood, never had a drama really with my pouch. What else will I put in it? Then blend it all up, and I'll have that twice a day. And then in between that, I should have said this beforehand, my bad. First thing I do every morning is put half a cup of this aloe vera juice. It's just like, I don't know what it is. It tastes like shit, but I mix that with just like orange juice or like apple juice and just neck that down. And I mean, that's like another anti-inflammatory. And basically the goal at the end of the day with all of this stuff that I eat and drink is that it kind of makes its way at some point through the pouch or the rest of my body, obviously, because things probably aren't operating to 100% after all the shit pills that we've been taking over the years with the UC or Crohn's or whatever you had. But the idea at the end of the day is just to like kind of keep our body's inflammation levels down as natural as possible without having to take one single Western medicine pill, I guess you could say. What else do I take? So yeah, that's my smoothie. And yeah, I also have regular meals too. I only have really 4 meals a day, including the smoothie. So I'll have 5 meals a day. So I'll have the smoothie, then I'll have a normal meal, then I'll have like a smaller meal, then I'll probably have the smoothie again, and then I'll have a dinner. And after all these like solid food meals, everything apart from the smoothies, I have a full glass of water, just because I did a bit of research, Googled some stuff, and then tried some tests here and there, and I found that drinking the water kind of it doesn't make the stool like loose or anything like that. Maybe for some people it will, but for me it doesn't. It just kind of knocks off a bit of the bloating and a bit of the gas. Funnily enough, I don't know how it works, but I've had way less gas or bloating rather since just having a glass of water after every meal. What else? Oh yeah, hydrolyte. I live in Australia, so it's always hot on the Gold Coast, so I always bang this stuff here out. I take like 10 a day sometimes. It's just like it's just like kind of having like 4 or 5 Gatorades, I assume, at once. Yeah, it's just full of electrolytes and whatnot. And obviously it says if you've got diarrhea, vomiting, heavy sweating, yada, 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 take it. And obviously that we struggle with some of that kind of stuff on a daily basis. So I take that. I'm taking 2 Gastro Stop a day, one first thing in the morning and one like at like 3 o'clock at night in the afternoon. Not because I have to, just because I'm trying to slow my bowel movements down, just so it sits in my stomach and my insides a little bit longer, so I can like absorb more nutrients. I don't know if that works, but in my head, I assume it works. So I'm just running with it. I take this bad boy as well. I'm a bit sick at the moment because it's like flu season here, but that's just like it's a vitamin C on steroids kind of thing. I just get that from the natural shop, and it seems to work. I got off it for like a week and a half because it's so expensive, and now I'm sick. So I am gluten free. I am dairy free to an extent. So I have like cheat days and shit like that. But like 90% of the time, gluten free and dairy free cuts out so much bloating, so much gas, so much like it just makes like the whole having a pouch like easier to like deal with every day. Cuts down a couple of toilet trips as well, like maybe banging out like 4 to 6 toilet trips a day. Then when I'm like on the dairy and just eating whatever I want, it's like fucking 4 or 5 more like toilet trips, especially at night. And like I don't get any sleep then, and then I'm shitty. So better off sticking to gluten free, sticking to dairy free, eating clean, like I meal prep. I'll show you that too. So I just meal prep and like smash out like a massive big stir fry at the start of every week. I kind of do like 2 a week, and it's just got like all my veggies in it. I don't eat red meat because that's an inflammatory. And I'm trying to like cut all that kind of shit out. That's the last thing I want. So I've got chicken in there. I've got all my veggies. I've got basmati rice. It's not, I buy like a sauce and stuff, like a gluten-free, dairy-free, like soy, like honey sauce and whatnot. There's about 5 or 6 different veggies in there. I've got mushrooms. It sounds pretty plain, but it tastes fucking unreal. So I'm happy with that. And then, yeah, on the weekends and stuff, like when I have my mates around and we're having some beers, like I drink a yeast-free beer too. It's called Asahi. Good shit. No bloating. Doesn't cause any extra urgency or anything like that. Yeah, so try that. But when we have the boys around, sometimes I have a cheat meal. Or if I'm smoking a bit of weed, then yeah, the munchies come in. You can find heaps of cool munchies that are like gluten-free, dairy-free, like cacao, I don't know how you pronounce it, but there's heaps of good shit out there, natural stuff that you can get from like Flannery's or like superfood stores and stuff, even like Woolworths or Coles or like the supermarket. For munchies, it tastes awesome, and then it just saves you filling yourself with a whole bunch of shit and then regretting it the next day. What? Oh yeah, I was gonna say I tried these Metamucil like caps. Some of the boys like Karan and them, they take them and it works for them. But it didn't work for me. It kind of just made things like clumpy, and so yeah, I tried that, didn't work, and regretted it. But I mean, it might work for you, so try it. What else? Yeah, once again, with like the weed, I don't abuse that. Generally, if like I'm stressed about work or something, which I try not to, or like something's happened, I rarely ever stress, but if I do and things turn like a bit liquidy, or I get like a virus, which is rarely ever happens as well, I'll just have a bit of weed, have a few billies. That's rough ass, but yeah, I'll smoke that, and then I'll get like, generally the way it works is everything relaxes. So my stomach relaxes. I don't get any cramps, and like I sleep for like 4 or 5 hours straight, which is good for someone with a pouch. Sorry, the computer's just turned off. Yeah, so 4 or 5 hours straight. Even like it just depends. When you get like a flare up and stuff, you go on the toilet heaps. So if you have some weed, I seem to relax more. And I don't know how it works. I've tried to do a bit of research on it, but I wake up the next morning and everything's like perfect. And it goes from like running to the bathroom because I've done something wrong, self-inflicted most of the time, to have a few draws or have a joint and then bomb out for a few hours, and I wake up and everything's like back to normal. So it's crazy how that works, but I try not to abuse the fact that I'm smoking weed for medicinal purposes, especially where I live in New South Wales or the Gold Coast. I'm on the border there, so it's illegal. And yeah, you can get done from the police, which sucks. But hopefully, the medicinal marijuana and whatnot comes into play down here, and we can use it like properly and for medicinal purposes. And because I believe it's got a whole bunch of good side effects and benefits to not only us but for a lot of other people out there. And yeah, anyway, that brings me to another good point. Working, like I used to work on job sites and stuff and work like 12, 13, 14 hour days just trying to make as much money as I could. Then I got sick. Then I had the reversal, got the surgery, and I expected to like go back into working like 5 days a week, but for some reason my body just couldn't do it. Every time I try and work hard, I'd sweat. I'd feel fine physically, like I'd be able to do it easy, and then my pouch would just kind of. I felt like I was overworking the pouch, and then things would get bad. Like the only time my pouch ever gets bad is if I stress or I push it too hard physically, with work, like and gym. Like I don't go to the gym anymore. That's just me. I just don't. So yeah, I've kind of packed everything up where I was working originally, and I've started my own, or I'm in the process. I'm about 2 weeks away from starting my own business to work for myself. As a pool service technician, so it's like not like a heavy physical job, and yeah, I can kind of work on my own hours and not push myself too hard because I really, at the end of the day, I really want to make decent money and have a good income so I can support myself and whoever I need to support in the future. But yeah, that's just one other thing that I've picked up along the way is that stress is not good, so don't do it. It's not going to fix anything, and working like overdoing the pouch, it's no good. So if you can find a job, and that's not just me, that's a few other boys as well, especially blokes that have physical outside in the heat jobs, it's not good. So try and avoid that if you can. Yeah, so that's it. Send me any emails or any inboxes on Instagram, and if you're thinking about getting surgery or you've got the surgery or you need a hand with tips or anything like that, flick me a message and we'll have a chat. Sweet. See ya.